Hello. For those who don't know me, I'm Nadia Silva, and I am the Product Development Technician for Amorim Cork Solutions. I have worked at ACS for 3 years now in the Innovation and Product Development department in the aerospace sector. And so to give you a better context of the company and what we do, in the next slides, I have a brief description. So our company focuses on developing solutions of core composites that combine both sustainability and innovation. We reuse cork, which is a 100% natural raw material, in order to develop materials and solutions for different industries like aerospace, mobility, sports surfaces, and even toys. So as you can see, we can incorporate cork in a ton of applications, and each product is created as a strategic response to the current market needs and always our commitment to sustainability. But what is cork and where does it come from? So cork is the outer bark of the cork oak tree, which grows mainly in the Western Mediterranean region. And why do we say that this material is sustainable and renewable? So it's because of its harvesting process and also the carbon sequestration. The tree is not cut down. Instead, only its outer bark is carefully stripped off by skilled harvesters. And the first harvest normally occurs when the tree is about 25 years old, and the subsequent harvests take place every 9 to 12 years, which allows the bark to regenerate naturally and with an average life expectancy of 200 years. These cork oak forests act as carbon sinks, helping to sequester the CO2 from the atmosphere, which results in a negative carbon footprint for our products, since the carbon is retained by the forest and embodied in the product, is greater than the emissions that come from the harvesting, the transportation, and also the manufacturing process. At ACS, we use the waste material that comes from the production of the cork wine stoppers, which creates added value for cork in this development of new products. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I work in the innovation department, where we have our iCork factory that was founded to respond to the growing process of creation. And this is where we devise the new products, where we can also incorporate other materials such as thermoplastics, rubber, circular economy, and also where we can prototype every one of the technologies that we have in our main factory, and also testing new ones that normally we wouldn't think of using in cork, but we adapt it and have it scaled up. And so what makes cork so unique? Its special combination of properties comes from its cellular structure, which is made of millions of tiny sealed air-filled cells. And this structure gives cork an exceptional mix of lightness, elasticity, impermeability, thermal insulation, resistance to fire and high temperatures, and acoustic and anti-vibration insulations. So with all of these features in mind, using cork in aerospace seemed to be a good idea. And cork has been used as a thermal protection system material for a long time now. And I will give you an example in the next slide. But cork plays a critical role during both launch and return to the Earth's atmosphere, because the structure of a rocket or spacecraft is exposed to extreme thermal environments. And what makes cork an ideal TPS is, as I mentioned, an excellent ablation and insulating properties, and the fact that it maintains a low weight to low thermal conductivity performance. And if you don't know, an ablative material works by absorbing large amounts of it, which leads to a thermal decomposition of the outer layer, which is also known as pyrolysis, and it creates a sturdy char layer and reduces the heat that is transmitted inward. And this char layer gradually erodes and removes heat and mass, and the remaining char layer acts as a thermal insulator. And as I mentioned before, here we have our success records from the 60s until today. And as you can see, we have been present in a lot of different missions, with our best known material being the P-50. So what are we doing in Salto? Here, our main objective is to develop an innovative, low-cost biosourced thermal protection that could be easily mounted onto replaceable tiles, which are being developed by our partner ID Concepts, which is also in the consortium of the Salto project. And the idea here is to formulate a new material with a 100% bio-based resin. And in the end, this TPS will be used in the base area where we see very high heat loads, and where there is a need for a material to protect the structure. Until the moment, there are no validated models that combine cork and easy replacement systems for usable mission. And our main challenges within this project are, of course, the formulation with the 100% bio-content TPS. That has to be at the same time easy to apply and easy to remove, since we are talking about a reusable rocket. So our chain of thought during this development, the development of this new material, compromises of 4 stages: the formulation design, production, characterization, and of course, the final stage, which is the industrialization process. If the material fails in this characterization phase, we'll have to return to the formulation design, and the same goes for the industrialization phase. And this can happen a lot of times until we reach what we consider to be the best formulation. And I will be explaining each one of these steps here. So the material development, the formulation design. When we was thinking about formulation design, we need to define what will be the main targets and what we need to focus on. And of course, thermal performance is one of the most important, since we are talking about a thermal protection system. And we need to take into account what I've mentioned before, the ablative behavior, the insulation behavior, and also the density and depth of cracks when it comes to the visual evaluation of the charred material. Besides that, we also need to think about the mechanical properties, for example, the mechanical strength, and we must always value the low density of cork, since it is one of the properties that distinguishes it. And what I mean with all of this is that when we are thinking about the development of a material, we must always bear in mind and try to understand, either through research or the acquired knowledge, is how different components will impact the different properties we are trying to obtain. And for this project, the design of experiments involve testing different resins and additives. And for the resins, we took into account the bio-content, the fire performance, which is related to the chemistry of the resin, the structural stability, and of course, the processing time and curing parameters. As for the additives, we consider the fire performance, as well as the environmental impacts, and once again, the processing feasibility when searching and choosing these additives. In this stage, we must always foresee the impact on industrialization, because even though we are testing on a lab scale, we need to somewhat predict its behavior once we are in an industrial scale, of course, guaranteeing its feasibility. The next step is the production of the different formulations through the combination of the different resins and additives and cork. And so for that, we start by dumping the cork granules into a vertical mixer and adding one by one, first the resin and afterwards the additives, all by setting the temperature and speed parameters in order to obtain a homogeneous mixture. The final step here is to put the mixture into a mold, close it, and set the curing time and temperature inside an oven. And in the end, we obtain this lab scale block that you see here on the right side. With this block, we can slice it into sheets or even other shaped samples for different tests, whether they can be internal or external tests. And in terms of characterization of the material, we can test density, tensile strength, compressibility, linear coefficient of thermal expansion, specific heat, and thermoconductivity. And the last three properties need to be done in external labs. One other test that we do also in an external lab is a cone colorimeter. For this, we expose the sample to a heat flux of 75 kilowatt per square meter, which is equivalent to 800 degrees Celsius for 4 minutes. And this is a very important test because even though we only evaluate the material visually, it gives us an idea of the cracks and how deep they are, if the structure, whether the structural integrity of the shower layer maintains itself or crumbles up, and it helps us understand the behavior of the material when exposed to extreme thermal environments that will occur, of course, during the launch and the re-entry of the rockets. And here on the right, you have a few examples of different samples that were tested on the cone colorimeter, and by comparing them visually, we concluded that the one on the bottom right was the best, since it has less cracks and they are less deep. And so this formulation was the one to proceed to the industrialization stage. And so the final stage here is the industrialization, sorry. And here you have photos of the process on the left side. And on the right, you have the industrial scale blocks produced within with the chosen formulation. We were able to make 2 industrial scale tests that were able to prove that the material can be industrialized, thus having a high TRL in terms of manufacturing. And in order to validate the material developed, different tests are being still performed at DLR in Cologne, which is one of the involved partners in the SALTO project. And if you were present in the first webinar, these tests were mentioned and also explained by Ansgar. But in essence, they are high temperature, high speed airflow tests that expose TMPS samples to simulated re-entry heating in order to study the material response and also supports the qualification of this TPS material being developed for the reusable rocket. Here you can see both samples needed for L2K, L3K, and VMK tests, which are still ongoing. But we were able to bring you a video to better understand what happens during this this test. It's working, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So in the end, the VMK results will also provide an overview of the whole system, and what I mean with this is the TPS plus the tiles. We are still at a medium TRL since the BioTPS is being validated in relevant environments. And with this, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.